DLC review, Laras Shadow, which is part of the Tomb Raider World. It's much better than Beneath the Ashes, and it is, I'd say it's worth the £6.75p cost of it. It was really great to play as Laras Shadow. Not much else to say. Yeah. Beginning and middle review, Guardians of the Galaxy 2021. The reason why I'm having the 2021 themselves because I don't want to confuse it with the Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. It's better than I thought it would be, and obviously since it's the middle review, I'm going to keep playing it unless something does pop up. Currently on chapter 5, I would like to do the middle review in chapter 8, but because the final chapters are, I feel like it's enough to do. Like, if I do a middle review, or if I do just a beginning review for Guardians now, I'm not gonna have anything to say probably when it comes to the middle review, so I'm just gonna do both now. As I said, great. I expected it to be like the Avengers game because I think it's made by the same people, but no, they made a game this time, which is great. Although my brother played it before me, and like I'm going for 100%, but like there's one of the types of collectibles you have to pick up, and then you have to look at them in later chapters on the ship, and it activates a cutscene when you look at them. But since my brother's already picked them up and looked at them on his save file, the collectibles are already on the ship, and when you look at them, no cutscene activates. So I think that it's been made impossible to 100% the game, which is that's just crap. Yeah. This isn't really memes, so I'm not gonna play it because I don't want to be stealing this guy's contest, which essentially is great. But when I was talking about in one of the meme segments where there was that girl on Twitter going, "Hey, I like guns, don't you guys like guns?" basically, and someone had pointed out that the image was faked. Obviously it's a FBI agent or whatever trying to get people to confess to crimes. And I said, yes, it happens all the time. This video just, it's what I said, but it's funny. It's like, giving a tech talk, he's like, I hate the government. Don't you hate the government? Do you want to blow up a government building? No. Trust me, I'm your friend. Let's go blow up a government building together. I don't want to blow up a government building. Could you just please hold this bomb for me for a second? No. I still refuse to see Uncharted, the movie. But I just feel sad about this because there's gonna be people who haven't played the games won't recognize Nolan. People who don't play games in general, and then people who just sucks that Nolan isn't getting enough appreciation considering he is Nathan. Tom Holland is not Nathan Drake. You want a person to play in live action, you have two choices. If you want to do a 30-year-old Drake, get Grant Gustin. You want to do a 40-year-old Drake, and I get that he's in his 50s now, but get Nathan Fillion. This meme is as of 19 past 3 p.m. on Saturday, 24th April, 2022, and hold on a second. Okay, I think I'll text you saw it was fine. It's just my FE test has been booked. Right about now would be a good time to finally talk about toxic femininity. Jada Pinkett Smith is emotionally abusing her husband. Amber Heard is physically abusing her husband. Or ex-husband, now I think, I don't know.
Okay, so I programmed a bot to listen.
Can't play this because of probably copyrighted music in the background, because people on TikTok have this privilege where they can literally play anything they want in their TikTok videos with no consequences. But if I dare speak, I get taken down for copyright. I can't even upload a short, which is YouTube's version of TikTok, if I can't copyright it, because, oh no, I used audio of a baby crying in it, and apparently someone owns a voice clip of the baby crying. It's probably not even the parents, there's someone else that probably owns it. Like, how do you recognize whose baby it is? But let's get on point. The reason why I'm showing this is because the fact that he thinks that this is great, oh, we need to get more bots to make music. No, we already have enough bots making music. You know why the bot was able to successfully make a Taylor Swift-esque song? Because Taylor Swift songs are literally written by bots. We do not need more bots writing songs. Damon Albarn was correct. Taylor Swift does not write her own songs.
Said they want to ban candy canes because they're shaped like a J, as in Jesus. Well, listen to me, you stupid twat, and I'm being a gentleman by not using another word to describe you. What if we held it like this? Would that help the situation, you fucking idiot? Have you ever seen a cane? This is what canes look like. So it's a candy cane. Like this. We don't hold it like this unless it's a fucking umbrella, you fucking moron. Said they want to...
That guy's very passionate. I am able to use this song in the background in this next thing because, and get this, YouTube, get this, Instagram, the song Crab Rave by Monster Cat, I think the name is a copy-free song, because that's all that Monster Cat makes, copy-free songs.
Former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher has died this morning following stroke.
You look at lovely Keira Knightley, very pretty, and you think, what a great advantage being an actress if you are as lovely as you are. But sometimes it puts directors off that they don't want someone who's so stunning.
You mean Joe Wright, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe Wright, who I've worked with 3 times on Pride and Prejudice and Atonement, and Anna Karenina, didn't originally want me for Pride and Prejudice because he said I was too pretty. And then he met me and said, oh no, you're fine.
26 past. So imagine thinking being a craphead is justification for getting punched, or is even relevant. Well, most of my reply guys are at least funny. When will you be funny? I did a thing. Free speech and liberty, but people can make jokes. Authoritarian tyranny, but people can't defend you. And the trans person runs towards that. So, this person is trans from their flag. So, and obviously this isn't all trans people or all gay people or whatever, but just like far left, for some reason, instead of being free to do whatever, for example, if they were offended by something, they could just block that person if it were online, or if it were in real life, then Well, there's a bunch of options. Instead of that, they'd much rather just prevent it from happening at all, but that also comes at the cost of them being forced into literally everything, and none of the stuff that they're doing is stuff that they want to do, and they think that's a fair deal. Why? This hits hard. PC has evolved to put all of today's aside so I can fix it, so it's like most PC issues, I'll need to solve a whole branching hierarchy of new problems that appear during the repair process. Google my issue, click on first forum with a solution, try it, instantly worked, fault fixed. This has clearly never happened before. $15 minimum wage is an antiquated demand. It should be $30 an hour. It's not as simple as that, though. Like, you can't just raise it like that. That there are consequences. Like, say you have £100, right? Actually, I'll say you have £300, and you're paying. You have a bunch of people working for you, and you're paying all of them minimum wage, which we'll say is £15. You can pay for 20 people, and your stream of £300 will never run out. Or you will, as long as you still have money, you will never run out. But the maximum that you always have is £300. I know that's a bit confusing, but it's just so that my explanation makes sense. So you're able to pay 20 people, right? 20 people working for you, and they're getting £15 an hour. But then they raise it to £30, so you're paying £30. You have to drop 10 people. You have to fire 10 people. So there's a reason why we can't just raise the minimum wage like that. Because people will have to be fired so that the same amount of money is still being dished out, if you know what I mean. Raise minimum wage to $30, and one of three things will happen. 1. Companies, to protect profit margins, will up their prices. Everything is now more expensive, meaning the wage rise made no change to people's lives or what they can afford. 2. Companies eat the cost out of their profits, meaning lower profit reports. This in turn tanks their stocks. Since all companies now have to pay $30 an hour, all profit reports are lower and all stocks tank, causing a market crash, leaving everyone financially screwed. 3. Companies invest in automation technology to automate as many of these positions they possibly can, already happening. This greatly reduces available jobs, meaning a lot of people will not be completely out of work and earning $0 an hour. Army production to low-cost countries. Crap, forgot about this one. I'm begging you, please learn basic economics. I cannot say things today, but whatever. 1. Prices have been going up ever since we've been taken off the gold standard. 2. You're ignoring all of the millions of people who can now put more money into the economy through their added revenue. 3. You have never been to a Walmart, lol. He lives in Scotland. There is no Walmarts in Scotland. I know he's been to America a couple times, but you know, it's been a while because we've had a pandemic. Put more money into the economy. Where does the money come from again? If you're going to DM somebody, be straightforward. Don't waste time and say, can I ask a question? Just ask it. People do that to pique your curiosity so you reply and then they can DM you anytime. I ignore all messages like that. Then let me ask, how small is your penis really? Absolutely tiny. I usually couldn't give less of a crap about celebrity drama, but screw me, the depth her court footage is funny. You can't be a libertarian while wanting to preserve borders and culture. Yes, you can. Can I be a libertarian while not really understanding politics? That profile picture, LMAO. Governments and corporations are not culture. We said they were. That came out backwards and saying can you eat both without harming local culture and preserving borders law. Fair enough. The culture its fans want to preserve does not and has never existed. It's a fantasy sold to them by Hollywood. Today I learned Scottish culture never existed. Because there are so many Hollywood films that are about Scotland and Scottish people. In fact, I can only think of one movie that's, that is a Scottish movie, and that's Trainspotting, and by extent Trainspotting 2. They're not Hollywood movies. Also, those movies didn't invent Scottish culture. Scottish culture existed before those movies. Like, what? Yeah. I just want to say I've never seen Trainspotting, so take what I just said with a grain of salt. Second episode of our new series on Celtic Myths and Nightlife. Actually, I've already seen it. My flavour of, for God's sake, is Mike Kelly. My flavour of unpopular and practical nonsense is the future. You lost the debate, man. Get over it. It's only Twitter. Assert your own victory all you want. Hyper-libertarianism is the conservative equivalent of screeching blue hair progressivism. It's all a load of childish, theoretical, impractical, posturing bollocks. Do you really want to be the Cheeto dust-out libertarian AOC? What for? Just to invest the energy in more mad lads and write more stand-up. You're actually good at that and it's entertaining. You couldn't prove any of the stuff you said in our chat the other day. You just made a bunch of claims and ignored all evidence to the contrary. You believe it's bad, yet you can't even explain why it's bad, meaning you have no explanation for your belief. I tried to have a light-hearted conversation with you. No, you didn't. You argued with him quite a while back, and then you came back a couple days ago going, hey, remember me? Well, guess what? I believe that I won the argument, when really you didn't. And I want to argue again for no reason. About highly suggestive theories of governments and got all aggro, rhetorical, and boring. No, he didn't. You were the one getting angry. Right. Between the three of us, I got the most angry. You got the second most angry, and Marcus got the least angry. And technically, I'm not even part of the conversation. I'm just guy reading it out. 17 hours after it happened. I'm boring. Then moved goalposts and argued around circles, so I gave up. Congrats, champ. You're describing yourself. You're the one that argued in circles. Really interesting alternate reality you created of what happened. I wish you the best of luck with it. I understand why you think the way you do what the government did to you is objectively appalling and wrong. I think we should push for government to be as small as possible. Based. We likely agree on most stuff. I was trying to have a fun discussion about libertarian edgelordery. Why so serious? It's something I think the fact you capitulate and pay that stupid fine is awesome. I don't actually consider you a LARPer. It was a joke. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Fist bump. I don't know if you could really hear it in the video, but I sort of paused between fist and bump there because I was my brain was wired to call that a bro fist because of PewDiePie. And that's an example of like the dangerous stuff that like YouTubers would do. And we would think that's what that meant. Like it's not called bro fist, it's called fist bump. And if I was speaking to someone and you went fist bump me, it's like, yeah, bro fist, he would beat the crap out of me. I'm not kidding, I'm not being exaggerative or anything like that. He would beat the crap out of me if I said that. And I know that, like, my 100% Indian audience are going to be like, oh, well, that's just Northern Ireland for you. It's the Troubles all over again. Maybe you're right, but still, I'm getting the crap beat out of me because a YouTuber lied. Anyway, that borders some stuff I can't say. I'm just bored, play along. How do you keep hordes of totalitarians then? Imagine hordes of religiously intolerant totalitarian zealots dominating your society until they make it theirs. You are aware no authority is legitimate except that of the individual over themselves. The very idea of a state with authority to enforce borders is a violation of the individual's autonomy and is itself authoritarian. Should a community be able to choose who is a part of it? Sure, but you don't own public land, so this isn't analogous. There would be no public land. Maybe I'm confusing your position. Are you against open borders? Right now, are you saying that your lifestyle preference in anarchy is to live in a bordered monoculture community? The former is what I'm arguing against. I'm against open borders completely. What I'm saying is that if people buy property, they should choose who can enter it. And if there's a community of property owners and they want to ban a specific type of person from their community, they have a right to do that. When people argue for open borders, they don't mean open property. They're referring to nation states that exist right now, and they're illegitimate holding captive of public land. Since you don't own that public land, nobody justifiably does. You can't decide who can or can't enter. Public land is owned by the government, meaning under libertarianism, ownership of the land would be transferred to whoever mixed their labor with it, unless they were paid for the work, or the land could be classed as up for grabs, and whoever came along first and mixed their labor with it would be considered the full owner of that property, and then have the right to choose who could and could not enter it. Basically, after about a year there, maybe even less, there'd be no public land left. Yes, I get this. I'm saying that right now, where public land does exist, it seems inconsistent to libertarianism to not support open borders, aka free migration across nation-state borders, because nobody owns it. Yes, I realize eventually someone might. That's fine. If no one owns the property, then people can travel across, since there's currently no owner with rights to it. But within a year, all property will be owned, and instead of national borders, there'll be property borders, essentially shutting down all free travel unless, of course, you have permission to be on that property, use that road, etc. With exception of property and easements. What's that? The I was here first rule. Yeah, that's fair. What do you mean by community specifically? Any group of people can, of course, associate or not associate freely, but to say they can dictate who can and can't exist in a territory, often an arbitrary territory with states, is authority over individual autonomy. Picture a suburb. All of the houses and properties owned by Muslims. They don't like Christians and don't want them in their community. As such, they refuse to sell property to do business with allow Christians in their community. Do you support this? I really can't read this. Yay, I got paid. Well, we'll take some of that. I profited from a smart investment. Congratulations, we'll take some of that. I want to buy this. Pay more so we can take some of that. I'll just save what I have. No, you won't. When the weather's actually nice, you can go fishing soon. Season starts every year, March 17th, with fishing in the frozen tundra. There's free fishing in the frozen tundra that is March. Scotland doesn't allow ice fishing during the winter months. Weird. Salmon breeding season, not allowed to fish at all. You get caught screwing with salmon migration, you can legit get arrested. I get it, protecting fish stocks and all makes sense, but if it deprives you of the simple pleasures of drinking in a tiny freezing shack hovering over a hole in the ice for 6 hours, arrest might be worth it. Sad to say, I've never been ice fishing. Why is this surprising? Doctor Strange 2 banned in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, Saudi Arabia doesn't allow movies that contain magic. Same thing goes for China. That's why Spider-Man was banned in China, because Doctor Strange was in it. There's a bunch of magic. Okay, so it refreshed, but before it refreshed, one of the things that popped up was like 36 times celebrities predicted the future in the photo while tiny. I thought it was Millie Bobby Brown, and it reminded me that I needed to talk about this. Let me just bring it up. Before I got it up, I was looking through this account animated times where I heard about what I'm going to talk about. Pablo Schreiber, who plays Master Chief in the Halo show, says that it works better as a show than a movie because there's such a deep, rich storytelling culture in video games. Thank you, Pablo. I don't know if he plays games or not, but the man gets it. We should have never adapted games in the movies, and like, I'm hoping that this is used as proof, right? Because there are so many games that were adapted, like fantastic games that were adapted in terrible movies, like Assassin's Creed. That would have been a fantastic show. Anyway, also I'm aware that there is possibly an upcoming Assassin's Creed show, but it's anime as far as I know. Right, so Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown criticizes media for sexualizing her turning 18. It's gross. It's a good representation of what's going on in the world and how young girls are sexualized. What part of the media is sexualizing Millie Bobby Brown? I don't really watch any media, but I've never seen like the way that this is being described is as if people in the news are literally just like talking very disgustingly about Millie, but I have never heard a single thing about Stranger Things or Millie Bobby Brown ever been said on the news, despite how big Stranger Things is. Now, people sexualize Millie, of course, that happened to Billie Eilish as soon as she turned 18. And that's just what happens when you're a celebrity. Like, I'm sorry that it's happening to you, but the media isn't doing anything and nothing can be done. It's an individual thing, not a collective thing. Brexit has failed. Yeah, how has it? Like, so far, I'm still neutral on Brexit because I haven't seen any negative I just haven't seen any consequences of Brexit whatsoever. So it hasn't failed, and we've been out of the EU for about 2 years now. So, like, gonna get the politics is it's not day by day, it's year by year, but like we've been doing fine. India's first openly gay prince endured years of torturous conversion therapy now is finding the practice illegal. Yeah, it's India. They don't take well the gay people. Don't try and pin all on us. Person speaks up by being diagnosed with autism as a woman. I would assume that it's exactly the same as being diagnosed with autism as a man. I've never been a woman, ever. But I was a man when I was diagnosed with autism. I was a man before that, and I've been a man after. You know, I've been diagnosed with autism. Uh, and while it did happen when I was 8 or 9, so I didn't know what it meant. But no difference, basically. And actually, I have nothing to talk about that. Actually, you know what? The fact that Texas has been mentioned, like, Hunter, Texas isn't a transphobic state. Yeah, they've banned, like, abortion and all that, but that's nothing to do with trans people. You need to shut your mouth and just play Jules